Guess we'll start streaming. Alright. Oh. That seems fine. That seems fine. Be online fairly soon. And just going to advertise here, and then I should probably send a tweet message about it. Here. New to play. On the human one. Race. On the new. Okay, so X. Big I2X series. All about. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, sir. It's all about humans tonight. Twitch.tv/run. Alright, so that works. I guess, yeah, that should work. Should work. And then copy link to tweet. I'm going to post it everywhere. Say PV. And then that should work. Yeah. Just give me a sec. Tell me if the sound is okay. I'm not quite sure. The mic was doing some weird things a few seconds ago. I would have been going live a couple of minutes ago, in fact, if I didn't have these problems. But seem to be resolved for the most part. Right? Okay, so that works. That works. Everything seems to be working fine. Sound seems to be working fine. And yep. Going to catch a few tweets here and there. And here. Alright, I make sure that I don't miss any tweets that I need to retweet. Okay, so we're good. Chat is there. Hey Excel, how are you doing tonight, sir? So, we'll be working on humans. I think the build that we have right now for Augustine works. And I'm guessing that this is where we want to go, because if we build for the champion, there's going to be more card restriction, but people at this point would have a lot of talent points to spend, and they're likely going to go with synergies with their talent points and start building around them. So I guess I'm fine switching to when we enter, like when we beat Root Crown and we start doing these nodes. I think it's fine if we in a guide switch towards a mercenary that we get. That way we've got a more forgiving shard grid, and we can you know, they can just adjust it to whatever they like, and it gives them a good place to start. And Augustine is a very good place to start. as well. So the question then becomes, we're working out of this list right now. And this one is okay to be the Kraken dungeon. And now the point is to try and see if we can improve that. I was at these numbers because of the restrictions that I had with the first Adventure Zone, but now that we're in Adventure Zone 2 and we're at the Kraken dungeon, we have access to Adventure Zone 2 packs. There's a ton more commons in there that we can work with, and there's a ton more loot. So I guess the first thing we want to do is start working with where is the web browser? Here it is. We want to start working with these packs, and the first thing we want to see is what drops are we working with? Arcane Sprite Fang. What is this one? Okay, so I want to see what are we working with in terms of cards, and we'll see if there's something synergistic that we want to use to build a deck that can beat the Runes of Kukatan and the Crate Machine Graveyard. I think we've got a strong base, but we'll see if we can improve. This one is clearly nice. Put an action from your crypt into your hand. We don't have any actions on our win condition in our deck, or like we could. Well, we've got removal, right? We've got Morphology, we've got Price Fall. This is an action, but nothing like you're paying 6 and you're getting an action from your crypt. It better be good. The one thing that is great with this card though, and if we go to Sprite Fang, is the equipment. And it's a rare, so it's not too hard to get. And what it does is that you play the action for free that's in your crypt. Now we're talking, because this is a great combo. We could actually build a deck completely around that card. And right now the trinket equipment, what is this? Oh, it's Commander's Brooch. Yeah, maybe we don't want to switch that around. Okay, we'll see. Not inspiring for now. Arindel Warden is not the right color, right shards. 3/6. Well, this has 5 or less attack, defensive, 6 or more must attack. On an opposing champion is dealt damage, just get +1. For 4 it's a good blocker though. It's a very good blocker for 4. And the deck kinda likes to have blockers. And then you just beat them down with the Wonder that are unblockable and Spell Shield, and then you boost them with your other cards. So we've got a decent amount of boosts, and it actually uses a weapon, and that slot is currently open in the build. When a champion is dealt damage, this gets +1/+1. So when we receive damage and when they receive damage, this one grows. And it could grow out of proportion pretty fast, so yes, that. Well, we'll keep that one in consideration. I like this one. I like this one. Chimera Cat, that was one of my preview cards for that set. However, even with the equipment, I'm not quite sure that this is what we want. I mean, it either has evasion or very good combat ability with Swift Strike, and sometimes it also has Life Drain, which is relevant. Was this a weapon equip? Shimir. Oh, it's not. It's chest, and right now we're not trading the chest, so that. Well, wait a minute. 3 copies of troops. We could switch to Ruby. Dancing Fairies. Light Special, that cried rock card. We want something powerful enough to have a very high win percentage. On the Ed slot is not what we're searching for. Duck Spot. Let's start return reveal our toxin, and you see that card should be in Adventure Zone 1. And that should be one of the things you want in your deck when you're fighting Victor. But you cannot have it. You have it in this Adventure Zone 2, which is... Alright, Dwarven Fishbait. This one is... Oh, actually, I've... sent that... There? Yeah. So the fish bait is not good. Alright, next. Forge Flock is actually pretty decent, and if I remember well, this one had a weapon equip. A glove equipment. What do we have in glove equipment? We've got that's going to be a hard sell. Going to be a hard sell, even though it's pretty good. And with Augustine we only have one artifact, so we're not going artifacts. Now we're talking. Ghost Sentinel is clearly something nice, like 5/5, armor 1, cost 6 though. What do we have for equipment? We have gloves. Instead you have armor 1 for each spirit you control, so we could build a spirit deck with the intention of playing that, and then when we play that we've got a ton of spirits in play, and then we get armor 5 or 6. But if we've got already a ton of spirits in play, we're most likely already winning, so I don't think that's what we're looking for. Add 3 energy contact to this, some ramping, defensive +1 for each artifact in your crap. No. Nope. Quicksand is pretty cool. Target attacking troop goes underground 3 turn, and with the equipment it's 5. What's the equip slot? Quick. The equip slot is it's low. Trinkets. Okay. Nah, we can't. That's a good one though, but it's not an upgrade. Destroy a random underground troop. That could be, you know, a combo with Quicksand, but it's not where we're going to. Yeah, armor 1 means that it will absorb 1 damage per turn, and then it refreshes at the start of your next turn. So if you have armor 2 and you're taking 20 damage from 5 different troops, you're going to get it for 18 damage instead, and then the next turn you get to have 2 armor back. It doesn't, the source is not relevant. Like if it's you taking damage, like the first 2 damage you take, they're negated each turn. Seismic Ponder, yeah, there's a combo to be done with this one, but even if we're playing 4 Quicksands, like we need to have a lot more ways to put things underground to make this one work for us. So that might be an upgrade from the Alachinsi packs for sure. Now we want to look at rares. So I'll put the bull shark there, and let's see what kind of rares we have. There's a couple are very good. For the purposes of guides, even more so for free to play, I tend not to use any legendary because they're really hard to get. And when you tell someone to farm for it, and they spend like 10 hours or 5 hours farming and they don't get one, it's kind of frustrating. So I like to tend to restrain myself to rares if I can have a good build without anything else. So Apex Forager. We don't have an image now? Okay. Which one is this one? Apex Forager. It's a green. Yeah, okay. This one is cool though. When under a card and third crypt from play, draw a card. this is real good. Real good. It's not on shard though. This art can be really interesting. Like we're not the build that we're working on right now is a you just want to stall the game, and then you attack with either a flag troop or an unblockable spell shield troop that you boost. That's how you win the game. So Blizzard could be one of the things that we use to slow down our opponent when they have multiple troops. They attack with a bunch of troops, and then they just really won each turn. The problem is that when this card is relevant, it means that your opponent already has a ton of troops or multiple troops. And if they're attacking, it's because the AI believes that they're going to get ahead by attacking, which means that you're very likely behind. And playing this when you're behind, it's not that great. It doesn't prevent the attack, you're going to get hit by a ton of damage, and then you're going to have a good control over the board. So that first line is not that great. So when a champion draws a card, champion choose and really choose and exhaust the troop they control, ready the chosen card. So by itself without equipment, it's not that great. Not that great. However, I believe we've got some equipment there. So feat, equipment, Blizzard have 2 blue threshold, ready target troop. No. Winter cold. Blizzards have deploy, exhaust all troop. Now this is something like you're behind, you play Blizzard, and then you exhaust all troops, and your opponent only releases 1 troop. Problem is that when you do that, you do not have any blockers. Well, not necessarily. You could play Blizzard and then play another troop, but for the most part, you'll be playing Blizzard. You're not going to have any blocker. Your opponent's going to have their best troop and they're going to attack. And often, their best troop is more than enough. So, not quite sure. Okay, by Blizzard. Yeah. But it's cool. I've used it in control decks that also add other, I call them permission constants, where they would like prevent troops for attacking, deal damage to troops that are attacking, things like that. And then you add Blizzard and you get a really, really strong control deck. But Blizzard just, in the shell that we're running right now, I don't think this is what we're searching for. Summon a Kraken Tentacle for each opposing troop. That could be cool. The equipment are feat, quick action, I guess. What do we have at feat? Yeah, we're not trading that equipment anytime soon though. Elm. The Kraken in all zone cost 0. I don't think, well, I mean, if you're way behind, you're going to create a bunch of tentacles and they're going to be able to... the Kraken tentacles... Kraken... Yeah, they exhaust troops, so... if you play this at quick, that makes a huge difference. Like, you play this just before the end of their turn, and then you start your turn, and then... Basically what it says is exhaust all other troops every turn. There are better ways to do that, cheaper, and that would also only work for one turn. But if you're exhausting all your opponent's troop and you're attacking with everything you have, you don't plan on getting attacked on the crackback. So this is a bit of a weird card. It does produce a decent amount of troops though. There are encounters that go really, really wide, so it might be something to consider. Hey, my yacht stream, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, I don't believe this is what we want to be doing at this point. Oh, this one can be cool. Mentor, okay, so 5/4, once per turn, 2, remove target attacking troop from combat. if you control that troop, ready it. Well, that's fairly good. That's fairly good. Like, if you want to prevent attacking troop, and it's only once per turn though, but you can have multiple of these in play, although it's a 5 cost troop. That's good. So what are the equipment? Steadfast. That's good. Like, if and keep in mind, this is we're building a guide here for a pure free-to-play experience that only relies on the campaign for cards. So the rules are that you cannot use the auction house, you cannot use cards that are coming from the Frustrating Arena. So you just build a deck and with cards that you can get from the campaign. The other rule that I'm imposing on myself, and I talked about it here, is that I'd like to avoid as much as possible rares. Also, we're building deck shells without any synergies with character powers and talents, so that if we have a build that is able to clear the content, that is strong, that doesn't rely on class synergies, and that is somewhat easy to farm, then I figured that the new players would have, you know, a goal to achieve, and while they're working towards that, they're going to get new talents, and they're going to have a strong core of cards that they know are strong and that they should build around. And then depending on the class that they have, they will build around the card a different way. So this is what I had in mind for this guide series, for free-to-play guide 2x for human, and then free-to-play guide 2x for Shiners, and then for elves, so on and so forth. And they all have different grids, so this is why I wanted to tackle this. Neutrally good decks. Yeah, that's a bit of a murder, because I wanted to do guides like that for a long time, and one of the problems was that when you start creating step-by-step guides, you're bound to classes, and then you have to provide talent builds, and then you need to be very specific. And with the cards that we have in the campaign, we don't have a ton of cards that only comes from the campaign. We have a very small selection of commons as well, and it's really difficult to build a high synergy deck with classes because of that. So that's and it's a lot of work, because you need, just for one race, you need to provide 4 guides, right? And I wanted to create something that provides a direction to new players, to players that wanted to stay free to play, but I also wanted to give them space to work with. So I figured if I go with a core that is independent of or neutral, like Aki's saying, then new player can get the guide, and they look at it, okay, so these cards are good, they should be the core of what I'm aiming for, and then along the line I'm going to get maybe a legendary card, maybe I'm going to get other things, and I'm going to start playing with talents and see how I can adapt. And this is the angle I want to attack for these guide series and videos. Back to this card though, I'm not quite sure, but maybe we'll keep it in the back burner. See what we get. Now this one I really like. 4 random non-resource cards in your deck, get when you play this, copy it. This is a high fun factor. It's also an evasive troop, and it's a good blocker. And it has a come into play effect, so if you find a way to get it back in your hand, you replay it, and then you get a ton of cards that copy themselves, and it becomes really, really fun. So definitely this card I would consider. Now gloves, 6 cards instead of 4, but glove equipment right now is 4 Dream Eagles, and that's extremely hard to remove in any Sapphire based deck. Even in the you know, competitive PvE decks, it's hard to remove. So on a budget, like on a free to play guide, you just, if you're playing Sapphire, you have 4 or maximum number of Dream Eagles, and you have the glove equipment. That's just not mandatory, but that's I guess I would say best practice. When you play this, copy it 2 times. Okay, so yeah, instead of copying once the cards, they copy themselves twice. We don't necessarily have ways to get this back into our... I guess we have a Buccaneer. And that's a cool troop. It's not an ardent troop though. That's a bit of a bummer, but definitely something we want to keep in the list. This is not... Okay, so... Yeah, we're not going to build around that, but this is a cool card to build around when you have your class. This one is really interesting. I really love this one on a budget, and the equipment makes it 3 damage, which is insanely better. And it is a weapon, so we have that open. We only can get one, and if we... Well, if we go with the human grid... The human grid at that point, like past the Kraken dungeon, you likely are... And just before you do the ship, you should be somewhere around level 7 or 8. So 2... 3, 2... Yeah, the grid for humans is so weird. 3, 2, 3, 2. At that point. So... You're human, you can go with 2 artifacts and you have the weapon slot open, so this one seems like a very nice pick. Like on turn 3 you put that down, even if it doesn't have... It costs 2 to activate. Is there an equipment that removes cost? No. There's a chest that sacrifices a robot, and there's a weapon that makes it 3. So on turn 3 you play this, you don't do anything, but on turn 4 and onward, you can just basic and do 3 damage to something. And later in the game, you can just pay 5 to deal 3 damage to something, and then you still have 2 more charges over the course of the next turns to do 3 damage. So this could just be 9 to the face in increments, which is a win condition on its own if you have a couple of them. It's a finisher as well. It gives reach. I really like it. In the budget builds, I really like this one. And when I got the weapon open, I often end up adding these in the mix for the free-to-play or for the budget guides, because this one is really good piece of control. It's slow, but it's also some reach at the end of the game, and yeah, it works really well. Okay, so we've got a few cards there. This is not the right shard. I'm not checking the legendary. Churdin is like mass produce. The gatekeeper would go straight into the deck. Like you put as many of them as you have. It's just an insanely good troop, even without any equipment. But yeah, it's unlikely that you'll be able to farm them because they're really hard to get, or you have to spend a ton of gold on Ash and Sea pack, but that's not what you want to do with your gold. You want to buy real packs. So so we have the bull shark, mediator. I really don't feel it. This one, these two at the 4-drop slot are very good consideration, and we've got an artifact now. In these pack, there's also a bunch of commons that we can get. And there's also the equipment for most of the cards that we just reviewed. One thing that is really weird, I don't know if they fixed that actually within Adventure Zone 2. I believe I saw Buccaneer. Okay, so what's the name of the equipment on Buccaneer? It's Sword Dancer's Limp. Did they include that? No, they didn't. You see, that's one of the problems in PvE, is that they gave you all these commons in the Adventure Zone packs, but they don't give you the equipment that goes with them. It would be nice if we would have the equipment, because a few of these commons becomes really good, and becomes build around me cards when they have their equipment, and people that gets these commons, they will never be able to get these equipment. Even more so for something like Buccaneer, where they need to have set 1 chest to open to get them, and that's very unlikely to happen. So that's a bit weird, but yeah. Alright, so I checked 1 or 2 for Adventure Zone 1. I checked this one for Adventure Zone 2. I'm just going to assume that they're not there. So, but there's a ton of great upgrades. So Buccaneers, it means that we could go up to 4. So I'm just going to save this as... this would be free to play guide to humans. This would be level 8. I'm going to do this. Yeah, level 8 is a good level. Like level 8. What do you got level 8? And it was 3-2, 3-2. So uncommons, they stay the same. And it's 2 across the board, right? For 3-2-2. Okay, so 4-3, 3-2, 3-2. Yeah, it was 3-2. Okay, so commons, we cannot go above that. Can go with a third kiss of the princess, which I like. So really we can't just increase the rare. So we could go with a third order from my command. Straight from the gate. This cannot be improved. We can go with another Spirit of Retribution. I think this is great. I really liked from the testing with this build. I think I like the Dragon Guard Sword better than the Scout, the Phoenix Guard, because it has just a lot more defense, and you don't need that much protection against Flight Troop anyway in the dungeons that we have in Adventure Zone 2. So I'd be inclined to go along this path for the character sheet, or we just go with yeah, I think we go with the character sheet and we try it. So all right, we want another order from I command. That's for sure. Uncommon, common. This is a common. Do we have noble citizenry in the list? That's... well, yeah, there's no way to get more of them. That's a problem. You start with 2 and there's no way to get more outside of the campaign. You get up to 3 here. We're going to get another Spirit of Retribution. That's going to be a good upgrade. And then a kiss. Create a new character. And then you get another kiss. I don't think I'm playing these foxes anymore. And I want to trade that for Stalwart. And that's the basic upgrade with 8. Now we need to see if we slot in different cards from the pack. So removal wise, we've got these are equipments, these are common cards. So Xbot, Cursefly, just skimming. Repel is pretty good as a removal, but I feel like Brightsfall does a good job, and you can do it on your turn if you need to. Thunderbird, no. Thriller, Construction Plan, Crackling. We would have access to Crackling Wit and Crackling Boon, but we don't really want to play them. Build Technician could be something. Ride Racer. Maybe. We're having some issues with the curve. Abominate, Arcane Focus. I promise you we're going to play something, but no, at this point, at level 8, we're not only using level Adventure Zone 1 cards, we're going to add Adventure Zone 2 cards in the mix, and this is actually what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to figure out which cards from Adventure Zone 2 would be great to add in the mix. Web guard. Kill, Star Shield, no, Vampire Kiss. What do we go with then? Yeah, Ripple is perfectly fine. I still like Price Fall better though. If nothing else for Great Machine Graveyard. There's a ton of big troops there, but Battle Chen, Bleed Out, but Cloud Walking is neat, but when you don't have the equipment, you can't build a deck around it. Death Chant, Blade Duelist. All of Radiance is a nice card for sure. Harvest Moon, Extricator, Seeing Red, Storm. Totem Traps are pretty darn good to have. Waiting, Young Seer, that's the wide one. Firebrand, Yeti, Fire Sorcerer, Canyon Otter, Cavern Sentry. Oh, we've got Change Course. Cool. Daring Freebooter could be something in replacing these guys. The Crawler. Good. Botanist is nice. It's going to be nice for other races. Not this one though. Trees can be good depending on the gems that we have, and that's another problem. If you're writing a guide and then you add a card because of one gem, and then set 9 happens, and then there's a gem rotation, and you need to review the guide. Granted, it's going to take months before that happens, but if we can avoid it, that would be great. Glyphs are pretty darn good, but then again, if you don't have the equipment, that's a problem. Gust Mage is pretty cool. Canine Lamify is a good removal, unconditional removal for 2. That's pretty interesting. Lucky Primal. Oh, Primal Prison. We get a shard. That is so good. Wrangler, Sentry, Enter Brave. Okay. Oh, let's see if we have more to add to our list. Field Tactician. 2 cost, 2/1. Exhaust a troop at quick though, for free. That could be neat. That could be super neat. The deck building challenge is I'm working on a guide, so it's for free, purely free to play experience in X, relying only on cards and items that you receive within the campaign. So you cannot use the auction house, you cannot use the Frustrating Arena cards. Even more so, this should be a neutral build for human. So we're not going to rely on synergies with a class. I want this build to be able to be used by any class, and then people can just adjust it depending on the talents that they get. So we're not going to use any class power or any class synergy. We're going to only use cards from the campaign, and this is for a human character. Only the card you start with in level 1, but since we're building a guide, we're going to build the deck as a guideline for players to follow. So you're going to start your campaign and you're going to look at the list, and you're going to, okay, so you're going to see, okay, so these are the cards that are strong that will get me to the next zone, that will get me through the end game. So if I have a limited amount of time and I need to farm something, I'm going to farm these cards that are going to be great in my human deck. And I want to produce guides for each races with that in mind, and working on the human right now. And I've got everything covered until level 8. So at this point in the guide, we just finished the Kraken's dungeon in Adventure Zone 2. So we have access to the Kraken's dungeon loot. We have access to Brood Crown Bluff loot. We have access to Adventure Zone 2 packs loot. And we're level 8, so we have access to the level 8 grid. So Stigma Buster 2291, thanks for the follow, really appreciate it. So this is what I'm trying to figure out right now. So we have this base deck. I just updated it with the level 8 character grid for human, but it's not much different than what we had before entering Adventure Zone 2. It's just a version that has more rares because the grid now allows it. So we've got one extra Spirit, one extra Kiss, one extra Orders from I Command. And the win cons in this deck are the Lost Wanderers and the Orders from I Command to win the long game. And now I'm reviewing the commons that you get in the Adventure Zone 2 packs, because you do get dedicated PvE items in these packs, in the Adventure Zone packs, but you also get common cards from PvP sets. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm reviewing these. Field Technician could be, yeah, it's an Ardent Troop. Let's put it in the list of things we need to review. I really love the Web Guard, even more so with the gloves. If you control a rogue, that troop can't really during their controller next ready step. When you have spiders, the knife, because you always control a rogue if this is in play. So the equipment just reads that the spiders stun instead of exhausting, and that's a really good upgrade. This card is really good in PvE when you're playing spiders. I fully assume that I'm going to include that in deck at some point in a guide, but that's not for us right now. Critical is nice. It exhausts something when it attacks. We don't have access to the equipment though, because these are PvP cards, and the equipment for PvP card comes from chests, and this is a pure campaign free-to-play experience, so no chests. Yeah, I think we've got better ways to spend 4 resources. That I really like. It's fixing, it gains health, so it's pretty cool if we need fixing. This one is one of the things we want. I don't think we're including totem traps. I'm thinking maybe we want to include it in when we're tackling a specific dungeon, but for the most part I think we're just okay with price fall and some amount of morphology in the mix. We could go up to a 3rd price fall, but I think we're good right now in the build. Change course I really like. I'd like to find some place to put a couple of change course to draw some cards. To draw 1 card but to have selection on it. Freebooter is nice, although it's Ardent Allegiant. I don't like that pretty much. We don't have a lot of ways to enable that. We have Kiss, I guess. Yeah, Kiss creates a troop in play at the start of the game, so I guess we have one way to do it, but that's a consideration. That's a need to drop. This is... I don't think we have enough stat modification to make this work. If it would be Ardent, I would be all over it, but it's not. Gust Mage is Ardent, and it creates a Valor. And it flies. However, it blocks really poorly. And most of the time, we don't really have, like, we're investing our resources otherwise. I guess a Shield Trainer could be something else. These are commons, right? Yeah, okay. I guess a Shield Trainer could be something else in this build. Yeah, we kind of have 3 slots open to work with right now. I love these Shield Trainers though. I guess Ardent Recruiter on turn 3 into a Freebooter is also a way to stun something. Maybe this is where we're going. Lamify is such a good removal. It's not quick though, but I don't recall any opponent that plays any revert effect in the Adventure Zone 2. So this one might be very interesting. Like, it solves any problem. Well, any troop problem. But it could be that we use Lamify instead of Price Fall. It's not quick though. It's a good removal consideration. Shard Prism. We have access to Shard Prism. That's so great. I'm removing the shards of the shards of fate for primal prisms for sure in the build. It's not even close. This one is nice. This one is an Ardent Troop and has a socket that costs 3. And we don't have a lot of 3 drop in the list. We've got 3 and then we've got these kisses. So Winter Brave. So let me switch the prism real quick. 1-4 and Winter Brave, because if we're not going with Winter Brave, we might go with a 4 drop. Yeah, Shield Trainer is the only Inspire, but it gives defense, and this is a defensive build. Also, I like having 1 cost when I play Ardent Recruiter because it becomes free. So, kind of like this one, but if I'd be switching a card right now, it would be this one. I love Noble Citizenry. It provides a blocker. It also makes the Lost Wanderer bigger, which is very, very good. Kisses with Wanderer is great. This grows as we play more Ardent troops, so these boosting troops and being Ardent is great. So if we're replacing that, I feel that we need a good reason not to be replacing it with an Ardent troop. So what kind of sockets do we have access to in Sapphire and Diamond? Fate Weave is a fairly good power to have. It's a real shame that we don't have access to Guidance. But if we could have Fate Weave. Fate Weave is definitely a thing, like 3 drop with Fate Weave. Not quite sure it's powerful enough though for PvE. Let's see, 2 defense, that would be a 2-5 for 3, not really. We already have 0-5 for 1 for 2. Let's see. Deploy bury cards, no. When you play an action, no. So we don't have good sockets for socket cards, so I'm going to use these defensive troops instead. Well, I guess the only upgrade that we're getting from Adventure Zone 2 packs is Primal Prisms and some options for removal. Like we could switch Price Fall around, we could reduce the number of Shield Trainer to have more removal if we want to, things like that. But for the most part, we're not upgrading because of the Adventure Zone 2 packs. The one thing that could be an upgrade would be these cards. Like, yeah, we're not playing the 2 drop. I don't feel like we're playing Change Course. We don't need fixing. Royal Herald I would consider because it's threshold fixing instead of the Shield Trainers. That could actually be an upgrade. It's a better attacker and it fixes thresholds, and we don't have a lot of ways to fix thresholds, so maybe we go with the Herald. I kind of like that. I like the 1 defense, but these decks, like, they don't have access to a lot of fixing, and I think having more fixing is going to be better. Let's see. Yeah, I can't play that. Okay. Wasn't there an alternate art? No, okay. So, yeah, Herald is cool. I think we're going to test that. Not Field Tactician. I would love to play a Sparker though. We have access to 2 Sparker. And we don't have a weapon equipped, so I think we really want to play that as reach and as removal. Because the other options are 4 drops and... Technically we could replace the 5 drops here by 3 flight troops that are not ardent. We're lowering the amount of ardent troops in our deck, but at the same time this one is kind of nice and it's only 1 threshold. And we've got a Bell Shark as well that has a weapon equipped that it goes up in damage in attack when you are that damage. So that one is cool, but with the way the deck works, I think like illusionary schemer might be a better pick. Sparkers though, Sparkers are real good. And we're done with these packs. So Sparker and Schemer. Let me remove these. Schemer. I have, yeah, I got a couple. Spark. Can only have 2, right? Level 8. 2 artifacts. Even the weapon equip is common as well, so that's pretty cool. I think I want to play 2 Sparkers. I really love them. I think they're going to do well for purely new, like new free-to-play players that are new as well. Like Sparkers are going to do some nice stuff. It's slow, but it's cool. We got 5 cards though. Is the curve low enough that I guess we're replacing these 3 with the Schemer. Get more flight troop. And then we've got too many troops. We're playing 25 shards. I guess we could go down 1. 24. And maybe it's okay to go 23. I'm a bit... I don't want to go too low on the... I really don't want to go too low on the shard. There a card that we want to reduce the number? It might just be the price fall. Or maybe the Stalwart. Maybe we'd go down 1 Stalwart so that we have the 2 Snarker. Maybe we could just go 2 Errol. I really like these guys. They block so well. They do a fantastic job keeping us alive. And so that we can play these and actually live to be able to use them. So I guess that's the build we're testing. So right now we're just out of the Kraken's dungeon. We completed the ship and we're going to adventure towards the 2 last dungeon. This is really what we're doing right now. So I guess... Oh, wait a minute. I made an upgrade to the deck, but we have access to the Kraken Dungeon's loot and the Brood Crown loot. And we need to see if there's something for us in there. So we're going to go in there and we want... HNC, we want... Brood Crown, and we want Kraken. Encounter's Quest. Okay. So we've got a grocery list here. And we want Diamond, Sapphire, Shardless. And type should be everything except effect. Champion and mercenaries. Okay. So we have access to these as well. Yeah, legendary cards are nice, but rarity. Priestess of Light. 1/2 that costs 3, gain 2 health. Ugh. Is there an equipment for that? No? Okay, we're not playing that. That fast, 3/3 for 4, no equipment. Nope. Blocks, battery. Port smear guards are nice. They could replace the 0.5 that we have. And they can be bigger. I guess we can only play 2, but I'm willing to add 2 to the list. And remove 2 of the other ones. That could be cool. Port smear guard. Like we do 2, remove these 2. And we're still good. Okay. That's an upgrade. We could go with the Arch Shell Infantry. It's 2-3 with Shell, but it has Must Attack. If there would be a way to remove Must Attack, that card would be a slam dunk, but it really isn't. Idolity is to redraw your whole hand plus 1 card. That can be okay. It's a draw one that shuffles your hand, but that I don't think that's where we want to go. This one is insanely good. I create a random diamond action or suffering action, put it into your hand. With the deploy effect, it's a 2-2 that has shell. So yeah, we should be playing 3 of them. But maybe at this point, I really don't want to remove the recruiter. I think they're one of the best cards that we can get. But the Arch Shells are clearly something we would consider for the deck. Parrots at 2 are great. That's another thing we should strongly consider. This is a racial card though. I don't want to rely on that. Mataredum. There's a bunch of racial cards. And this is one for the... This one is for the human though. So technically we could play it. It has a chest equipment that reduce card. Nah, we're not. As long as we're playing recruiter, we're not giving up on the chest. Jellyfish is cool. Oh, that might be something. It has spell shield, which is pretty great. When this is dealt damage, it deals 1 damage to each opposing champion for each damage dealt this way. So you attack with it, they block, they receive damage, and you can have it block, and it deals damage to them. Well, that's very great. That's super cool, and we have ways to make this bigger and give it life drain. Like it could be a 3/8 life drain, and you attack with it, or you block with it. I think we want a jellyfish over this schemer. What are the equipment? They become quick troop. Feet. Feet we have. Yeah, we're not changing that. Chest eater. But it has spell shield, and spell shield is really great on a free-to-play experience. And if you ever get a drag to depth, you slam dunk that into your deck for sure. There's no real reason not to do it. I like the shellfish, the jellyfish. I think we're adding jellyfish into the mix. And the 2-cost Arch Shell, I would really want to add it. I don't know what I'm removing for the Arch Shell though. We don't have a lot of Ardent Troop. Maybe we remove the recruiter. That would be... I really don't want to remove the recruiter. I think it's a bad move. I think we already have 3... yeah, 2, 4... We're at 7 evasive troops. This one gets all possible buffs imaginable. So... I think we're okay for these not to be evasive troops. And I want to test the jellyfish instead. They're going to be good. They're going to be real good. I really want to put the 2 drops. I really wanted these 2 drops in. Oh god, do we have... How many Ardent troops do we have? If we remove the Ardent Recruiter, we have access to chest. That could be this one. Yeah, Ardent Recruiter, you know what? Ardent Recruiter, they synergize with Ardor from iCommand, so there's no way that we're removing them. So we're just going to stay with the shell jellyfish. We've got a decent amount of spell shell in the deck too. And we've got good amount of removal. So let's test this. We've got the mercenary that we get when we play the campaign at this point. And we're going to try to do Runes of Kukitan. The first fight is going to be very annoying. We might not be able to do it. We'll see. We have ways to gain health though. A ton of flyers. Not the way we want to do this. Okay. So let's try this on. Yeah, he did save it, right? Save. Save as. Free to play. Whoa. Free to play. Guide to humans. Level 8 version 2. Do we have a nice sleeve? We need a nice sleeve. This is not a sleeve for a human deck. This could be a sleeve for a human deck. Not that into angels. This is human. I like that. So here we go, testing the build now. We'll see how that works. We don't want to be relying on any class powers, and we don't want to be relying on talents. So this is going to be hard. And I'm purposely putting these lists into hard mode because I know that when the new player or the player gets them and they start and they finally get all the cards, and you add on top of that all the powers from your class, it's going to be easy. It's going to be on a good level of challenge, right? We're going to go first, and we've got a roll lion keeper from the being a human ranger, and what I want to see is some Spirit of Retribution, so that's going to be key for us to win this game. Last Wanderer, Sparker, really want a Spirit of Retribution in our starting end. Guess we're not getting one. Going to restart it. It's the first fight. That's going to be part of the guide. Restart the first fight as many times as you need to, because we're not going for perfect here. We're just going to go for being able to clear the dungeon. And once we're able to clear the dungeon, then we're going to be able to do something nice. So go first. Order for my command. Remove a bunch of shards. Spirit of Retribution. A giant jellyfish. Love this. We kind of want to hit on 2 diamond threshold later, and we want 2 sapphire threshold earlier because of the Dream Eagles. So I'm going to go with a sapphire on this one. Pass the turn. We're not going to get it for 3. We're going to eat one of these. So, yep. I'm warning you, this card is going to be in every single one of the guides that I make that have access to diamond. It is extremely good. I will even get Morphology here. I'm not using my champion power. Now we've got a Spirit of Retribution. There's a very high chance that we can make something happen this game. Not going to be able to attack. Just getting more of these out. I'm fairly okay with that. And we get an Adaptatron. I believe the best thing to do is Adaptatron. We want to start being offensive as soon as possible. Alright, so we don't want him to get to a point where we're going to die. Fine. Excellent, we've got a diamond. So we could get this one Swiss Strike. +3 and Swiss Strike. So I'm going to attack and I'm going to bait into a bad block. AI. AI never plays considering this one can grow. So here we've got a perfect hit. Moving 3 troops, not losing one. We still have a good flight blocker, so I guess we're good, right? As soon as we have a Spirit of Retribution in our hand, this fight is fairly easy. Now we get it to 5, and I'm just continuing to investigate into it. I'll just investigate and Adaptatron as long as I can. Yeah, 5. Go at 9 damage. Now that this one is in full attack mode, we're going to start playing defensive. The fish is defensive. We've got one removal open. We can attack with this guy. We can even give him a guard if we want to. Nice. Nice. Okay. See what happens now. They're relevant for us. Going to remove one of these. Wanting to gain some health as much as I can help it. And oh, Strangle. Strangle is -4/-4. Whew. That was close. I think we're good. And yeah, let's just stack with everything. Oh, no one blocks the jellyfish. I wanted to have something block the jellyfish. Wait, he's not dead. Should have just attacked with this guy, but it's okay. Alright, we dodge a bullet with the removal, but we're in a fantastic position right now. That. They're really liking the Sparker. Not going to lie. Really like the Sparker. So we were able to do the first fight. I'm going to take the short path. See if we can beat the game, the dungeon with that. And even right now I'm playing 2 mercenaries that give a charge at the start of each game. So if I had any class synergies, I would be able to use the shard, you know, the charge power earlier and do something nice with it. This is great. We've got a Retribution, we've got a Brander, Buccaneer, and some control. That's perfect. I'm happy with this. This hand is going to work well. Even get a turn 2 Recruiter into a turn 3 Buccaneer. Well, that's cool. And we've got a Kiss. A bit late to the party. Would have been great to have it in our opening hand to get a free troop, but that is perfectly fine. Next turn we Buccaneer, and then that's okay. Buccaneer in this one. Oh, crap. Yeah, this one is not going to be easy. Okay, I guess kind of have to deal with that. You know what? I think I'm playing the Buccaneer here. If he attacks with this one, we'll eat it with the Spirit of Retribution. Maybe he plays another Carnosaurus to kill him. That's fine. If he replaces the one without the trigger, that's fine. Hey! Oh no! Well, it didn't die. We'd like to draw a resource. In the event that we don't have a resource, I think we're going to invest in this Buccaneer. start attacking to gain some health. Maybe I should have attacked with the Spirit of Retribution. I don't think he's playing any speed troop. The shark is a problem if you don't have removal for it. Thankfully we do have removal for it, so... Ball. Attack with these two. And now we've got Morphology open. Good stuff. Gaining some health. Really like Kiss. Kiss of the Princess is becoming one of my favorite PvE card to work with. Yeah, this one is not going to... yeah, you go away. You go away. And go there. Clear shard. You can just attack with the Spirit of Retribution. Next turn we play Kiss on the Lost Wanderer that is unblockable and spell shield. So it's not going to die. And... oh no, Spirit of Retribution is not there anymore. We're not in great... well, 32 health. And we've got an unblockable that has spell shield and life drain. We should be okay. We should be okay. Yep, take 6. No problem. We're going to get it for a decent amount of damage there, but... got a Spirit of Retribution that is lined up. It's not going to fight, is it? Sure. There we go. That's why I'm playing Lost Wanderer. And if I could play 3, I would play 3. If I could play 4, I would play 4. This is an excellent win condition when you're on a budget. Really, really cool card. If you have access to Sapphire and you're on a budget, the Lost Wanderer is one of the best cards. And if you have access to Diamond, you play Kiss of the Princess, and all of a sudden you have an insanely good thing to work with. Wasn't a pushover. Yeah, crocodiles are not a pushover at all. Alright, Fill Cape is really annoying when you're planning on increasing the size of your troop. Which we will be doing a decent amount. So, yeah. We should be able to do this though. Like, we've got Royal Herald to fix Threshold. I really like that. Really, really, really. Love it. I think that was a good upgrade. I think that was a fairly good upgrade. Look at that. We've got Adaptatron and he can revert everything. How cool is that? Okay, so this for a Sapphire. I really like that they gave us the Herald. That makes a lot of difference. I don't want to spoil my series. Oh, you can. This is a community work, so to speak. So I guess we can go with... yeah, we want him to revert things, so we're just going to go with speed here. If he reverts, we're not losing anything. And now we're hitting for 3 return, so yeah. The fish is going to be nice. Get a Sapphire Threshold now. That we can use this. And then... I think just going to beat down, really. Not doing much right now. And we're attacking 4 per turn. The next 2 threats we can just bounce them. As soon as he uses champion power we can start using these to greater effect. Yes, was 4/4 and crush. Yeah, I don't like that. I think we're going to remove you from the equation, sir, for now. And we're going to attack. Start. Oh, I reverted. I could have given them speed. Oh, that's true. They reverted. Yeah, slight misplay. Should have been 2 more damage there, but that's okay. I knew that the 5 curse was working out in my mind. I just forgot about it for a second. the princess. Ah, just do that. Doing some decent damage there. Now we're going to have a jellyfish. Next turn we can... Oh, that hurts. That hurts so much. Oh my god, that Crocosaur hurts so much. Oh my god. Okay, so we've got a jellyfish, which is really, really good. Yeah, the Crocosaur hurts so much. Oh my god. Imagine you're a new player, the first time you see that troop. How sad are you? Like, how frustrated are you? And then you say, God damn it, I'm going to play that card. It's not even a camping card. I want that card. Not attacking. I cannot keep the Kiss of the Princess. We attack with the jellyfish and he blocks. We lose the jellyfish, but he eats 6 damage to the face. Maybe the next turn we kiss one of the jellyfish and we attack with it. And if he blocks it with both, we kill him. Or we block with 2 jellyfish now. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. Could do 6 to him now. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good plan. So if he doesn't block, he dies, and if he blocks, he dies. So we're going to for the he dies plan. I'm really liking the jellyfish. Really, really cool. Really cool card. That works well. I'm loving this one. That's nice. Gotta say, the build is working very, very good right now. Last boss is going to be a pain though. We can't remove his big troop and we're not going to be able to block it infinitely. Well, technically we can, but we need to survive a long time for it, so it's going to be a problem. Yeah, cannot keep that. I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to regret it. Okay, so do we block that or do we block that? Yes, block this one. Yeah, this should buy us a lot of time. We need Sapphire Thresholds though. Really, really need Sapphire Thresholds. +4, +4 for 3. Still need Sapphire Thresholds. We're not blocking if he attacks, but sometimes you just leave one blocker and he doesn't attack. Even if he has the power to kill this one. Oh, that's nice. It seems that we're not going to get any cost reduction on our orders from I command. Shame. Sure, ramp into oblivion. Alright, you know what? I'm playing this one. Just so that he doesn't attack. We're going to have some very, very big problems very soon. Ugh. No Sapphire Threshold hurts. Do I attack now? I'm going to stay defensive. Now we need a Sapphire Threshold. Come on. Yeah, that's a problem. But we did get a Sapphire Threshold. So, We can play both of these. That's great. This and then this, and next turn we play order from my command. It's great. I don't think we're getting attacked, so we're going to gain some health. Got a decent amount of blockers. And oh no, we cannot. If we draw a shard, we can. A non-slow shard, we can. This gets +6 is 2 times its attack, 2 times its defend. Its defense. That's a problem. Next turn we play order from my command. In the meantime, we can start attacking. Yes, we chum block. Got enough chum blockers to work with. Now orders from my command is going to swing that game in our favor. This is quick, right? So twice plus 2 times this attack, so it attacks for 18. Cannot have that. Okay. Need to survive this turn and we're good. Because now we're getting a free troop every turn. It's an Ardent troop, so it helps growing Ardent recruiter. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but that's not the point. Would love to be able to play these, but for now we attack for 4 every turn. We've got blockers, and next turn we can swing for the kill. Oh, we've got this one. We've got another order from my command. That doesn't matter though, as we are winning the game there. Do we unlock the secret mode in Runes of Kukitan with this fight? No, we did not unlock it. Alright. This is where the things get harder. But we should be good. We'll see. We'll see. I got a really good feeling about this one. Go first. We got a Spirit of Retribution and we don't have any Sapphire Threshold. Don't like the no Sapphire Threshold. Okay, that's way better. That is way better. So we get to play our cards. And second turn is a Recruiter into an Adatatron. We've got something to survive. I hate this guy with a passion though. I really, really do. You know what? Going to play that. Just because I hate this guy. And technically I'm within the parameter of what I wanted to test. Even though this is the best case scenario. And I'm not using any champion power, so this should balance out okay. If we would be playing a ranger, we would be able to create a pet and block this one, blah 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 blah. Should be okay. Why did this one die? Put a fuse counter, add a fuse counter to each troop you control with a fuse counter. And sacrifice. Should we control with 2 more fuse counter? Okay, that was a fuse counter doing some things. 2 Spirit of Retribution and 1 Swift Strike troop later. Good. Okay. Going to attack with Spirit of Retribution because that's it. That is an insane card that may very well get nerfed in a near future. Not because it wins games on its own, because it's not included for any grid that has access to Diamond. Or maybe it's okay, since you do need to be able to put Diamond cards into your deck in the first place, so maybe that's okay. Try to see if we can find a Diamond shard with this one. We do. For now, you are going to get attack. And we're going to attack for 6 life drain in the air. And we're getting damage, so they're improving their attack every time we get damage. So this is why they went up there. Oh, orders from my command. Yes, I do. They want that over the jellyfish though. Yeah, we're already good. I think I want the jellyfish and just keep attacking with the Spirit of Retribution and get it by the burning damage at the end of the turn, making these bigger, and then we can swim for lethal this turn. Working really well right now. This list is working really well. Like, just farming Spirit of Retribution on the first zone is so important if you're playing human. Like, that's the top priority. That and Kiss makes a huge difference. Like, being able to get like a bigger troop with life drain when you're on a limited collection with limited options is really good. And I've started to see, started to use and started to advise people using Kiss of the Princess in very aggressive decks as well, because it creates a troop when you have it in your hand at the start of the game. And if you draw it later, it's not the end of the world. You can just use it to push more damage and then gain some health. And often the aggressive decks, they're not very good at lasting long. And when they get behind, it's really difficult. So that works. Okay, so we need a blocker. So it's going to be this guy. We need a harder from High Command. ASAP. So this fight is going to be fairly difficult. Again, a Spirit of Retribution would make a huge difference right now, but we don't have one. So second turn Recruiter, and then we hope to get some humans in between. If we don't, we can... Yeah, next turn we've got Dream Eagle, so I'm confident we can find something. But we're going to be very low in health by the point we can do anything against about this guy. Ay. Giant Jellyfish is my absolute friend in this situation, but we cannot play him this turn. I think if we're going to survive it, it goes through playing this guy. And now we need to chum block this guy. But we're going to have a jellyfish soon. And we're not under a ton of pressure, but we are very low in health. Okay, so jellyfish is going to get life drain next turn. We're getting it for 3. That's going to be tough. Good thing is that we're doing damage. Oh, yeah, there's no way we're winning this right now. Alright, reset. Reset. I guess this goes through Spirit of Retribution again. Yeah, this fight is hard. That and the last fight of Great Machine Graveyard are going to be a pain. But so far this dungeon feels achievable, like really. If we can find a line where we win this fight, like being on the play is a big deal. Being on the play is going to be a big deal. Having Spirit of Retribution and Jellyfish is going to be key. We even start with a Kiss of the Princess in our hand, so this is one of the best start we can get. It's very slow shard curve, but get something nice. Going to go with Sapphire. And now we can block and gain some health. Firefall. And that helps a ton. We're going to be able to block the first 2 or 3 attacks. We don't have anything turn 2, so we're playing that for a diamond. I'm not going to play Kiss on either of these. Just going to go with a giant jellyfish, and then we're going to give it life drain. And it's going to be great. Maybe we have a chance. Alright, 3. Kiss. We're not going to use Kiss, so we're going to play that. And this is where we start to... No, next attack we can block, and the attack after that we cannot, so this is where giant jellyfish comes in. Whoa, 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 I wanted to block that. What's going on right now? And then we can start attacking, okay. Maybe we can stabilize. I kind of don't want to block, but we should. We should. 4 takes 4. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's perfect. All right. All right. All right. So we live in a world where we have a chance now. This, and then Kiss of the Princess that. So when he attacks with this, he's going to take 5, and we're going to gain 3. So we're in a way better spot. And next turn we can play Lost Wanderer and start attacking as unblockable. Yeah, sure. Deal 5 damage to you. Man, I love this card. I really love this card. Price fall in this dungeon are not doing great. I guess they're good against the early wild encounters. So I shouldn't say that. Yeah. 6 takes 6. I love that. Oh no. Wait, this guy is not good. Draw 3 cards and they deal damage to us. Hopefully... Yeah, we can play these relatively quickly. So we don't have anything to block with these, so... Got a decent amount of health. We want to play 6, we cannot play more, so we're going to play this one. Charge. Okay, this guy. Play this guy. Attack with this guy. Going to hit on this group, but yeah, I think, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. He's taking 7 now. Jellyfish is so good. Oh, and we can kill that with prize fall. Yep. Yep. And I cannot play this shard, but that's okay. Good, good. I think, yeah, this worked out great. The jellyfish is the key part of this fight, so yeah. If the jellyfish would have been something else, we would have been in big trouble. So jellyfish, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, I get a Leviathan, that's great. Nice. Ponder is also great for wild. Oh, sort of the larva. Cool, so I guess this concludes that we can farm Runes of Kukitan with this build. And I'm a bit curious to see what do we get with Runes of Kukitan. So what do we get? Specs. Oh, this guy is great. It's a trinket though. I really love him. There's some quality walls to work with, like 3 defensive. When this is dealt damage, bury the top card of each champion's opposing deck. So it's a kind of an alternate win condition. It's not great and it's defensive. So I like the jellyfish way better. But if you don't have them, you can use these, you know, in the meantime, and that's a great defensive option. And this is the killer. Like, this is really, really, really good. Even if you don't have the trinket, that card is neat. Like 1 damage to each attacker. There's a ton of 1 defense attacker in the adventure zone, 2 right now. And if you're planning on running the last 2 dungeon, this card is great. This card maybe it makes the deck if we're going to look at farming. Because the goal of being full free to play and clearing the campaign is giving, you know, players goals to achieve. In terms of here are the cards you need to clear the campaign, and once you're able to clear the campaign, we're going to look into farming, right? So the next question will be, with the cards that we have in the campaign and the grid that you have, with a fully unlocked human, what's the best gold farming option that you have? And this is another question that we'll have to resolve for the guide. But once we have the guide, we're going to be able to say level 2, this is your guideline, level 5, this is your guideline, level 8, this is your guideline, and level 15 for gold farming, this is your guideline. So we're going to have all these steps mapped, and it's going to be great. And we're going to do that for each races. And the long part is just testing, right? It's really hard, it's really long to test these, finding right cards, etc, etc. Building the video is going to take a couple hours too, but once I have that, I believe that we're going to have a very, very strong video series for new players. When they come in, okay, so you took a Shinir, or you took a dwarf, you took a human. Watch this video, it's 30 minutes, it's like 1 hour, whatever. And then you're going to see what are the cards you should be chasing, where are they, and go for it. Like a couple instructions, and here you go. So I'm hoping it's going to be very useful for new players, but that's the goal. That's really the end game here. And if you have good suggestions, better suggestions, let me know, and we're going to have it, because I like these limitations, because the new players, they will get a guide and they will get cards, or they open cards in PvP and they'll say, oh, this card is way better than the other card that's in the build. So yeah, go for it, replace it, start working with your cards. The one thing I don't like is just like for new players or people with that are on a limited collection that are not competitive, giving them a full-blown list of here's the grocery list. It's not that great, right? You give them the list, they play with it, and then they win, and they get a bunch of cards, and they don't have the right reflexes. So trying to attack from multiple angles, so to speak. So yeah, Runes of Kukitan, Scanner is great, but Orders from My Command is a very, very strong win con. Owls of Kukitan could be great. What do we get from Great Machine Graveyard while we are here? Only artifacts. Or art shards. Not that great. Not that great, but we're getting Cerebral Jackcat, and this should be going in every single deck that you create, unless it wins on turn 2. And quite frankly, I've seen a decent amount of turn 2 win decks that also play Cerebral Jackcat in case they don't get a turn 2 win. So this card is something PvE players should be farming until they have 4. The whistle's not great. Well, it could be great. Doesn't cost anything to activate, so 3, you play it, you create a dynamo every turn. That could be something. But there's something to work with. But it seems that for the most part, for Diamond Sapphire Human, we're not going to get upgrades from Great Machine Graveyard. We are going to get upgrades from... well, we could from the Kraken dungeon with the legendary card there, but I guess the Runes of Kukatan is the one you want to farm for these. Because unblockable on a troop is great, even more so when you have Kiss of the Princess and you have double legendaries to make this one better. So I would be all about getting more unblockable troop in this list. And maybe we drop the because we did the dungeon and the recruiters, they did not perform that well. And technically we could remove them with the shell guy that blocks twice before it dies. That creates an action. That could be sweet as well. Maybe the end build is not going to be is going to be different. Like if we would have access to PvP cards, then we would have access to insane Ardent troops that would be killer in this deck for the Ardent Recruiter, but right now we don't. And as we get more powerful cards that are not Ardent troops, the Ardent Recruiter doesn't seem to be that enticing, even though it's working well with Order from My Command. But at the same time, if you have Order from My Command on the board, you should be winning. Like getting a free troop every turn should lead you to win if you have the Recruiter in play or not. So maybe Recruiter is not the best at the last level. So we're going to try Great Machine Graveyard. And yeah, guys, yeah, I'm going to advertise that as well, because we need I'm currently, for those who don't know, or on the channel right now, I'm currently building a team for content, to produce content for PvE, and there's a big contest with it that also will be rewarding 1 million gold in prizes. So if you didn't read the post here, I highly recommend. There's going to be a part of the group that is going to be open to public. Everyone will be able to chime in, come in, ask questions and everything, and it's going to be all about PvE. And I'm going to have a core group that are going to be content producers. Not everyone within the group will be the ones creating videos and writing guides, but everyone in the team will be participating in their own way, by theory crafting, by documenting things, by researching, by producing videos, by doing all sorts of stuff. So and right now we've got a couple members, and it's going to be great. Already got a lot of nice feedback on that as well. So it's going to be a glorious age of PvE before the big patch, and with all the contents that we'll be creating, we'll cover everything that can be covered for new players and players on a restricted collection, and my goal is to have all this covered in a very clean, very professional way, so that when a new player comes in, here you go, you have all the resources, you know what you're going to be doing, and the experience for PvE is going to be greater. I also want the team to be working towards creating events for PvE, open to public, to get a bit more, life into the PvE that we have right now, and make things interesting for everyone. And that's another goal that I have until we get a big PvE upgrade. I want to make sure that PvE lives, that it is healthy, and I understand right now, X Entertainment, they cannot do everything that they want to. Curry cannot do everything, right? There's a limit to their resources, and right now, they believe that what's most important for the game is to grow the player base. Easiest way to do that right now is through PvE. So, regardless on how I feel about that strategy, this is how they're doing it. So, in the meantime, the best way to support them is to making sure that at the player level, at the community level, we continue to make sure that PvE is interesting and refreshing for everyone, so that once the big PvE patch hit, we've got a lot of players that are interested and invested in PvE. It becomes a great success. It starts bringing more money through PvE to the game, and they start investing more because there's more revenue with it. So yeah, we're going to conquer the world. That's how we conquer the world. Great ambitions. Small steps at a time. So this is what I explained there. Rules of the contest are there. If you want to help with content creation, again, you could just be someone that tests decks for us. That's great as well. I'll be happy to have you within the team. There's a lot of work that is done behind the scene when we're creating videos. And you'd be surprised. Like for every video that I create, often I have 10 or 12 or 20 hours of testing behind it. So just being able to offload some amount of that work into other players, I would be able to create a ton more videos, right? Maybe 2 or 3 times more videos. So this is a goal, and I'm also maintaining the adventures guide that takes a couple hours every month. So if I'm able to float that, we can just create more content and create this great environment for players, old and new, to get into PvE and have fun. Well, my speech is done. I'm going to give you the link here in the chat. And if you haven't participated, participate. It's free. You can gain a lot of gold through the 2 parts of the contest. And we need a name for that group. I don't have a name, so the contest is there. Make name suggestions, and if yours is taken, you will be winning 500,000 gold. Enough with that. Let's go to the game here. Running the Great Machine Graveyard. So this is the ultimate test. If this build is able to clear Great Machine Graveyard, it means that the only deck that I need to build for this guide, free-to-play guide to human, is a gold farming build. So the last question that we are going to ask ourselves is, using only cards from the campaign, what is the fastest deck we can build that can clear gold, that can clear Great Machine Graveyard, so that you're purely free to play, purely campaign, you can farm gold and start entertaining, buying packs from the Ocean House, and starting to work towards PvP, because right now the PvE, there's no end game, there's no point. Like if you're playing more PvE, once you've got most of the things that you have, the only thing that you get is more gold. And what do you do with gold? Right now, you're going to the auction house and you build and you buy more cards for PvE. But if you already have a good PvE deck, then buying more cards for PvE is kind of pointless, right? You're already farming. So last thing is that, well, I've got a lot of gold that I can farm from the campaign and from PvE, and I've got a lot of cards from PvE, so might as well use that gold to buy some packs and play PvP. I'm not going to make all the Kami cards unnerved. I may have had an influence on 1 mercenary and 1 or 2 cards that got nerfed at some point, but the Eccentric are big guys. They're big boys. They if they see something problematic, they fix it at some point. Sometimes what will happen is that they already know about a problem, but it might not be not known or not popular. So no one's really, you know, abusing it. So they don't have to do anything. And when you create a video on one of these, you know, very powerful strategies, you will end up in a situation where there's more pressure on them to fix them. So maybe I had a part with that. I may be a culprit, guilty about that, but for the most part, they know, right? Like, there's no way Tonya wasn't... Well, that's the thing. I'm saying they know, but to be fair, PvE is insane, near infinite depth. So there's no way they can test everything. And when they releasing PvE, there's a good portion of it that is, well, it seems okay, so we're going to let it go. And it's not PvP, so they always can change that things afterward. So even if they screw up, like they create something really broken, like Tonya, the first iteration of the Tonya mercenary, for instance, it's okay. It's not a problem. Like, if they create something broken for PvE, it's not a problem. Like, the next day they can create a patch and change it. And they have done it twice in the past, so they can definitely do that. And they've shown that they are willing to do that. And in my mind, the sooner the better, right? Because if we find something that is problematic, and they wait a long time to fix it, a lot of people could be, you know, spending resources buying these cards to have them, you know, nerfed a couple of weeks or a couple of months later or a couple of days later, and that's not really good, right? I would much rather just create a video on the problem, making sure that everyone knows about it, and that it get nerfed as soon as possible to create a better environment for players overall. So that's my stance on making all these crazy strategies known from everyone. And this is why I don't like having like a group with really good decks that they're not sharing with no one, and they're abusing that to farm gold and have an advantage over other players. My goal is to make sure that everything is well known by everyone, and that way we have very good environment for new players. They know what to get that is good. Also, it's a fair environment for everyone when all the best decks are known, because PvE in its nature, it's a game mode where you can have the best deck performing extremely well and not being known by no one. Like, no one knows about it because the one person that created the deck hasn't told anyone yet. So he has a very, very strong advantage in terms of gold, in terms of farming, and at some point in PvE we're going to get new core mechanics that should be giving us more goals to achieve as well. So I like this to be as transparent as possible. And when you're a new player and you have like thousands of cards, thousands of equipments, hundreds of mercenaries, and a couple game mechanics, right? This is immense. This is big. We need to be able to, as a community, to well, the game needs to be better at supporting player through that, but they're never going to be, you know, to the point where a new player would come in and know what archetypes to go with, will know what cards to farm, right? It's up to the community to come up with these guides and these videos to support that. And the success of X, it's going to rely on the community to create great websites. The same thing as in with PvP, where you have these great websites that are created by players from the community, and we're just going to be dying there, so we're going to restart. Yeah, these websites are created by the community, and they improve the experience of playing the game so much. It should really not be underestimated. Like XTCG browser, XPVP tools, X prices, X sales, all these stuff, X compendium, they are extremely key to the success of the game. This is what we need for PvE. And yeah, I just wanted, I was already doing my part creating videos, but I felt that it wasn't enough. We need more. Well, that's why I'm trying to push forward a team for that. Yeah. That's a fine trade. Now we're in a way better spot, and Going to get a Sapphire with that. Next turn we play the Ardent Recruiter. We're going to trade it with this guy. Not the best thing in the world, but we're going to stabilize around 10 HP, 10, 12. Depending on what he plays next. And then we'll be in a good spot. This makes me want to not block this guy. So that we kiss on the Recruiter. And all of the sudden we have a spell. That card's good. If we would have access to that card, it would be an all Ruby Dex, but yeah. This fight is super hard. And the constant runes of Kukaten solve this problem really neatly. Okay, we need something now. Buccaneer would be at the top of the list. Yeah, this should help us short term. Again, like if we would be playing a class right now, we would be using, we would have access to talents, we would have access to champion powers, and that would make a huge difference. So I'm purposely making this a hard experience. Each opposing champion may sacrifice an artifact if they do. Okay, I didn't have any artifacts, so it doesn't work. We're still in a bad spot right now. So I get this one out. I jump like this guy here. Next turn I make this a 2/6. Going to be too late. I chose to kill the other one. Yeah, we're not winning this one. So yeah, this fight is one of the hardest when you're on a restricted collection. But it's PvE, so we can just restart it as we want. You think they will nerf me? Oh, that's a good thought process. We get a free 1-drop at the start of the game, we have a 2-drop, and we've got the giant jellyfish. I think this is a keep. Yay, so we right away we deal with one of these. Sapphire. It's going to be hard. And we're playing a Ranger right now. Ranger doesn't have a ton of HP to start with. So it's kind of a worst case scenario, I feel. It's going to be super close. If he doesn't have a scrap bomb, we have a decent chance there though. We're going to take 4 and next turn we kiss and we should be in a good spot. Yeah, price fall for this dungeon is not something we should be adding. Like for the 2 last dungeon, price fall shouldn't be in the list. Lamafy should be in there instead. Like, not even Lamafy, like Totem Trap is likely to, like a set of Totem Traps. Oh yay, we managed to stabilize before this guy comes in. Yeah, this is going to be hard, but didn't manage to stabilize. Fish. So this one doing 2 damage. Can it go to the face? Yeah, it can go to the. Oh, 2 of them. Price fall you. Blocker. We need order from my command, or we need something. Something flies. would be neat. We're not gaining any health right now. That's a very big issue. And we cannot kill anything with price fall. We had a good game there, but recycle, okay? So he's not using these to kill me. That's the good. Nope. No. So okay, we die. One's hard. Maybe we don't take that pet and we take the pet above. What's the fight on the top? I guess they're not as aggressive as this one. I'll try again once or twice, and if we're not able to beat it, we're not able to beat it. Oh wow, this hand, if there's one way we beat that encounter is having a kiss and a spirit of retribution at the starting end. Like, it has to be at the top of the list. So I guess with a good hand we can win this fight. Yeah, I have to do this. I have to do this. Like, stabilizing at 14 and 17 and getting another one of these is just great. Even if we don't have any card, any more, you know, actions of troop, any chart, but right now we're good. We know we're good. Oh, it's even a sapphire shard, so I guess we want a shard. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the diamond. Got a free troop, we've got a removal. I guess the price falls are good, right? Because it's creating big nulls and he's playing big ones. Able to price fall them is kind of great. Maybe price fall is good for this part. Wanderer. So we can start attacking next turn. We attack with a life drain troop. That's the game plan. Yeah, I really love the Wanderer with the kiss here. Like, unblockable 4 damage life drain is a very good way to win a game. That card is just so good. Spirit of Retribution, so good. And as the content gets harder with more Adventure Zone, this card is just going to go up and up and up and up in terms of priority. Right? If you want to attack me, you're going to get more damage. Sure, what's the IS attack? 2. Take 2 back. Ooh, this one is a problem. Problem that we can solve. Arr! Pirates! Assemble! Yeah, I'm really loving this jellyfish. Like, for late game stabilization and some reach. Really loving it. Makes a good difference. Oh, 5 you say? Sure. Oh wow, that one's great. But we happen to have an unblockable troop. With some great pump spells. So we win. Okay. With some work, we were able to do it. This one is very annoying, but we do have flight troop and we have unblockable troop. And we have life gain, so we should be good. We should be good. Well, first, Price fall in this match is, yeah, not great, but we've got a Spirit of Retribution, Dream Eagle, so I'm willing to go and try this one. If we get another Sapphire Threshold, we Dream Eagle into something nice, if not just a shard. And we're going to be able to kill that with the Spirit of Retribution. We got an order from my command. I don't believe that we'll be able to go wider than the E will, but this could just generate a very strong troop as well, so we're going to get that. And now that we have Spirit of Retribution, it means that we're attacking for 2 every turn. Going to get there. Oh, I should have played that before combat. It's going to get speed, is it? Yeah. Alright. Sure. Do your thing. Ooh, this is a Sapphire. We want a shard for the most part. Or something better. Let's try to see if we get something better than a shard. I kinda want the second diamond threshold. Alright, maybe the first one should have been a shard. Maybe the first one should have been a shard. This turn we're playing the Prism for a diamond threshold and... And turn after that we can do this. Okay, so there's a Morphology which will be very useful. And we're going to play it this turn. Yeah, I don't think we're racing that. I think we're being very passive right now. Oh, I needed to... These guys, they cannot stay on the board. Guys, they cannot stay on the board. Sure, 15 resources, because why not? Sacrifice all artifacts. Right, we stabilized. We may be losing a lot of health this turn, but see. Oh, I gave him this, right, with Morphology, because it's one of the only hits right there. Alright, I see this is how we go. Falcons are great. Rights fall are even better. Or... Buccaneer on the 6 there, or Rights fall one of the 6. I think we're Buccaneer, the one that draws card. Then we attack. I think we're in a good spot right now. Wait, I was supposed to block that. God damn it. I really hate when the pass priority bug happens. Really hate. This one needs to die. Ooh, that's nice. One better. Okay. I don't think we can afford attacking. Let's wait a bit. This one creates a troop every turn, so we're getting 2 troops. Alright, so There's something in there that's tree. Will be blocked by a chum blocker. Block here, you block here. Are we dead? Do we need to block with these two guys? Yes. Is it worth it to save 2 damage? Do I trust that I'm not dead right now? I'm not going to test this. Ah, -3. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah, late game against this guy is not going to work well. The one we want is our unblockable troop with life drain as early as possible. And we had a decently low start last game, so I'm going to keep that one. I guess if I would have played the jellyfish. No, it wasn't. Like, it doesn't even cut it really. Alright, so we've got some shards. We're going to Buccaneer the first thing he plays, and we need to start attacking with the jellyfish, I guess. Oh, orders from my command is great. Right, one order from my command is something going to be great for us. Another diamond shard is not ideal, but we will take that. So you will be attacking, I guess? No? No attack. Sure, create 1,000,000 troops. Sapphire. Going to go with the jellyfish right now. Prioritizing having blockers. Sure, do whatever the hell you want to do. He does have a lot of resources. What do we do with you? Well, that's the first part of the puzzle. Need to go wide. We're not dead to an attack just yet, but this is the beginning of the end for us, right? All right. We start getting some... Oh, a llama herder. Yes. Okay, so this... And next turn we can start attacking for 4 and gaining 4. Oh my god, this is not going to work well. 28 resources, guys. Can we do this? This is groups of 6. Ooh, another orders from my command. I do like that. So this is our win con. We've got all the pieces together. Is it going to be enough? That's the biggest question. We seem to be stabilized by now. Ooh, that's nice. There's no point in killing these troops. None. I think I just want more blockers. At some point we're going to get flyers from these, like this one. So yeah, sure. 45 resources. That's fair. It's completely fair, sir. Ew. Groups of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 28. We're at 26, so we're good. And we've got a joker in our hand. Nice. Got a Valiant Escort, a Sly Huntress with her pet. Could use this to replay a troop. I don't think we want to. Just attacking with these. I think we're covered. We got this. We got this. Sure, 55 resources. Why not? Light troops. Got bigger troops there. And attacking for 5, 6. And the kill. The jellyfish are so nice. Did I say I love the jellyfish? Because I think I did not say it enough. Great. Great jellyfish. Alright, so we're able to achieve what we need to. Not even going to bother building the robot. I want to test this in the worst possible scenario. And if we can win with that, that means the build is okay. I really feel that we've hit a strong build right now. We've got a strong core. That's really cool. I'm happy with it. Going to make for a great free-to-play guide to humans. Spirit, Jellyfish, and Riot Lion Keeper. Sure, we've got all the thresholds that we need as well. That is a decent end. Even get a robot. Hey, go robot. I'm not quite sure how we stabilize against the last boss though. That's going to be the big interrogation point. Swift Strike. Yeah. Not going to attack, so I'm going to get the Spirit of Retribution out as soon as possible, or now, and start attacking. As long as you don't black flight troop, we're good. Yeah, stabilizing against cut is going to be so hard. Going to be insane. Not quite sure we do that. Now we're doing okay. And we've even got jellyfish. If only Kiss was a combat trick, that would be so... Oh, I don't like you anymore. Like this guy anymore. Could attack with this. That's damage, I guess. This one can attack as well without dying. This one attacks without dying. That's a bit more short than I would like. I have a couple of troops that can attack without dying. And we're doing it some damage to the opponent every turn by doing so. 5, this one has 6, that's perfect. Oh, so we're on the jellyfish plan right now. Definitely on the jellyfish plan. It would take less damage by blocking, but it would lose a card. Oh, the jellyfish's spell shield! Oh yeah. I guess jellyfish is the way we beat... if we transform this, we're not getting the thing back, right? That's a bummer, but... oh, we're attacking with this guy now. Which will give us another strong attacker. He's going to get +4 attack. I love this card. It's great. Sure. My threat is spell shield. You cannot do anything against me. Take that. Oh wait. Block 4. Nice. Now attack you for a very good amount of damage right there. Could have been +2. Okay, you do get something back. You're not attacking right now. That's a lot of battle chance. Not enough to kill the jellyfish. See what he does. Yeah, trades this and this, and he takes the tree. That's fair. I don't even know why I played that. That is fair, so he's getting back this one. Start turn, put random artifact, cost 1. Okay. Don't have any blockers anymore. Why? What in the... Using hotkeys sometimes, and I tend to spam them. There, I map them on my mouse, the past priorities and all that stuff. So sometimes, depending what it feels is, depending on the timing, you hit the key. You can get a weird situation where you cannot assign blocks or you cannot assign attackers, and that's super weird. And when that happens, you really gets frustrating. That's okay. You're dead next turn. Oh yeah, there's 3 attack. You're dead. You're dead in so many ways. Like, sure. We got it. We got it. It's hard, but it works. Like if I tell a new player, these are a card you need to farm, and if you farm them, you're going to be able to clear the content. That's great. And you don't need to invest anything in the game, and you're going to be doing good. This is on the weaker side, yeah. We need to have one of the cool cards, like Kiss. Oh, Kiss with a 1-drop flyer troop is pretty great. Starting turn 3, we can attack in the air, gain some health. Turn 2, we get to fix our diamond threshold, or actually we go with the keeper turn 2. Speed? Got speed! Got speed. It's great. Great, that worked. Alright, this guy, I feel like this guy is... and the first one is always the longer, right? Because once you've done Diamond and Sapphire, you know what these shards have to offer. And when you're going to do the next guy that's going to have a race that uses, say, Sapphire and Ruby, then I will already know which Sapphire cards I should be aiming for, having done the first part of the guide, so... yeah, this is a decent amount of pressure right there. That's a decent amount of pressure. Back at me for sure. Was a nice turn. Okay. You know what? I like my jellyfish. Send these 5-1 to me, please. I dare you. I dare you to send me the 5-1. Yeah. Look at him. Sure. Why cannot... Okay, brain fart, but that works. 5 damage to you. We're at 12 though. Not a great spot. But this one's on defense. Can attack this guy. Yeah, we cannot have this one die. This cannot die. So plan B. We're just removing it from the board. And we're attacking with you know what? We're not killing him this turn. I'm just going to put him down to below 5, and if he wants to use that power again, he somehow survives this turn. The good old Buccaneer sequence. These pirates, they have no honor and they bounce everything. So the ultimate test is now. The ultimate test is now. We're going to go get Scott. It's going to be hard. It's going to remove our troops. It's going to be a pain in the ass. That's a real test. I'm fairly certain that when we build the last phase or the last list of the guide, it's going to be gold farming, and once we do that, we're going to want to go with Ruby, right? Ruby has to be faster than Diamond and Sapphire. It's going to be either Ruby Diamond or Ruby Sapphire. Go first. Okay. I can get behind that. Second turn, we've got a Royal Keeper. We've got something for defense, and we've got order for my command as soon as possible. No, we're going to price fall that. Do we? Not the biggest problem in the world though. There's going to be way bigger problems than that very soon. At least that's a problem we can deal with right now. It's all about stalling the game at this point. This guy... Yes. You know what? This fight I'm going to use my champion power, because you're going to need extra work to win this fight. Ah, not that guy. Oh no, that's not the guy I thought it would be. Okay. That is fair. Double citizenry on the guy that is bigger. So this one can block 5 5s. Good. Ramping, no. Yeah. Just have access to a ton removal. Okay, so here we go. How do we block this? So you block the 5, 3, yeah, we're blocking this one. We're chum blocking this guy. And do we want this one to die? I think we're... Okay, this guy I really don't like. Dream Eagle, find something nice, please. Yes, order from my command. Now, is viable to trade PvE gold for PvP plat? In beta time it wasn't viable. Yeah, it is. It is absolutely viable. Right now, if you, let's say you're able to build one of the, you've got a max level Venom, or a max level Human Ranger, or a max level Elf Warrior, you could build a very cheap one card deck essentially, and with Zokoi, and you could farm gold with a very decent pace. We're speaking about along the lines of 20,000 to 25,000 gold per hour, which translates to roughly being able to farm a PvP pack worth of gold every 2 hours. So 2 hours being able to farm a pack for draft or something like that is pretty sweet. I need to start attacking. I'm not winning this game if I'm not attacking. This is very scary though. Five, 3, 5. I'm just not equipped to deal with that right now. But I'm getting 5, so taking 5 there is not the end of the world. This one has to die. And I have to trade this guy for it. The good thing though was that these are going to make short work of this, of our opponent. I guess if we produce enough blockers, we can kill him with the Spirit of Retribution. Back to 25, okay. This is the big turn though. Oh wow, it didn't play the 5 drop, the 4 drop, okay. Yeah. Alright. Still in the race. 2 blockers, but we got a shard. Have to continue attacking and hope for the best. Depending on this turn, we may be able to win on the next one, on the swing back. We need to get it by this 4, 6, 8, 10. We need to get it by 4 troops. If we get it by 4 troops this turn and we don't die, we win this game. Aye. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 4. So we only block 1 and we win. He does have scrap bomb. I'm seeing that scrap bomb coming from miles away, and it's going to screw us on the last turn, but we have to take this chance. Actually, yeah, we have to take the chance. We have to take the chance. No scrap bomb! We win! Well, this is never going to be an easy fight. Even with good decks, this is not. Sometimes it's a hard fight, so... Spirit of Retribution, MVP in every single game you get them, so... That works. We've got a build that works. I'm so pumped. So that means that this guide is nearly... The research for this guide is nearly complete. I just need to write it, record video, edit, do all sorts of stuff. And then I'm going to be able to release it. Oh, I got a lot of mail right now. And look at that, 1,300,000 gold. And 1 million is going to go away. Because right now, last chance guy, I'm going to post this. I'm not going to do the speech again, but I'm going to post the link again. Can win a few 100,000 gold within this contest. Just need to get in there and suggest a name for the PvE group. And if you're interested in PvE and you would like to help creating new PvE content, read this, lots of cool information, and then send me a message and you're in. So, good stuff. I'll be signing off now. Thank you guys for joining. I know it's not the most exciting night ever. I'm just getting back on streaming. Expect a lot more streams. In the near future, at least once a week. I'll try to keep up with once a week. Once the team is official and we've got the name and the participants, I'm going to create a nice video to introduce everyone and our projects and what we're working on, and we're going to go from there. So take care, guys. Have a great night. As always, you can find me everywhere as Coach Flipperon, on Twitter, on YouTube, on the forums, in game, on Twitch. So this one's going to be uploaded to YouTube as well if you want to watch it again. And don't hesitate to follow me on Twitter. I retweet 99% X related things, and I just take everything that is being tweeted related to X and I tweet it. So I retweet it and I put my own as well. So if you want to be up to what's going on with X and you don't want to, go around, you can just follow me on Twitter and you get everything. If nothing else, that's a good way to do it. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.